sustainable development. So thank you for that. I will leave the floor now to Anne Kullman, who is responsible for our project at the Global Cooperation Department of Sida. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will keep it short. I also long for a cup of coffee. My name is Anne Kullman. I work for Sida. I've done so a considerable amount of years with the partner river cooperation and lately with collaboration with the private sector. I have three messages for you. The first is the goal of the development cooperation, why we work with the private sector and how we work with the private sector. So I will not dig into the textile details because you know all about it already. And then I have one call for action for you as well. So Sida, this is a governmental agency working under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We manage Swedish taxpayers' money, so we are very where we put our investments and where we fund projects. The overall goal of our development cooperation is set by the Swedish government and the parliament, and right now it's to contribute to create conditions to enable poor people to create a better livelihood and sustainable development. We always seek the best way or most efficient way to manage our funds, and that's why we seek collaboration with governments, with NGOs, with research organizations, with the private sector and so on. And as you all know, and has also been more kind of accepted in the global debate, is that the private sector stands for the majority of the investments worldwide. The development cooperation funds worldwide is very, very small in comparison to the direct investments made by industry and companies. So that's also the reason for us we as a world society need to do something about global development and global sustainable development. And that's why we need to try to make the money work for us. And that's for us. You can take the next slide. Yeah, that's the slide. This is, no, the front. Sorry. Thank you. So I will just briefly tell you how we look upon the collaboration with the business and with the private sector. As I told you before, we have our development goals clearly set for global development, and they don't always coincide with the business sector goal, that is profit making, of course. That's the kind of reason to be for the business. But there are many times collaboration opportunities that come in this sweet spot in the middle here. That is not always that big, maybe, but I want to highlight that we are looking for those collaboration opportunities. And what we are looking for is actually some small but very good collaboration opportunities, and we fund projects that are already started up by the private sector, so we're not starting up new initiatives in that way. You can go to the next slide and I will tell you how, one of our ways to collaborate with the private sector. So in this sweet spot in the middle where we have the win-win-win situation, which Rami told us about before, that is a win for society, win for environment, and win for the business as well, of course, and for the global development. We can identify, or if the private sector identifies a project like this piloting of the Swedish Textile Water Initiative, and that has been now named SWAR, difficult pronunciations. Then when we see that this is actually contributing to our work and our strategies for collaborating with India in this case, then we can add on funds as well to make this collaboration more powerful. But then we are looking at different aspects, like I said before, we are looking for where can we make private money work for our goals, so to say. We also look at a project when it's an inclusive business project where it's a win for the workers in the factories, for the people having their livelihood from the areas surrounding the factories, but also for the Indian society, of course, at large. We want to collaborate with the Indian government on this to help out in the ways we can do. And also we look at where the Swedish, where this project, if it's additional to, I mean, would this project happen without our funds? That's one of the things we're looking at. So what we do is to, in this case, we fund 50% of this collaboration. The private companies, the Swedish private companies, mainly fund in-kind contributions, but they really invest a lot of time in this project, and also before the project starts, I must admit. So what is calculated in this amount, I can't really say. But what we do, we facilitate that they can contract a local consultant to really do the training and measurements and all the work in the Indian suppliers and sub-suppliers. But we as a government agency, we can't transfer funds to private companies because that would be kind of a market disturbance and so on. So then that's where Sida comes in. They are a non-for-profit organization that is one example of an implementing agency that we can kind of transfer our funds from. So we scrutinize Sida, how they work, and have proper financial records and things like that. And of course, these public-private development partnerships, as we call them, need to interact with all the stakeholders in the Indian society. And that's why we are so happy today that Honourable Shri Rawat, Deputy Minister of Water, is here to present in this room today. And we really hope for a continuation, also with funding maybe from the from the Indian government to enable the continuous support for this very, very good initiative. And then, of course, the call for action is that this is one project. We don't only fund public-private partnerships with the textile industry. We have many examples. I have put some example sheets out on the table out there if you want to learn more about how we work with public-private partnerships. And please get inspired, because this is my call for action. We need all the innovative forces from the private sector, from the research and NGOs to come up with good ideas to really make sure that we have a globally sustainable development in the future as well. And finally, I would like to say that Sida has also recently started up an initiative with around 20 Swedish or Swedish-rooted companies, with the business leaders, with the CEOs, taking a standpoint and saying that they want to contribute to global sustainable development. So we are call for action, more to join, and please come up with good ideas, and we can see if we can help funding and make them happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you. Now, just to mention one thing that we probably have missed when it comes to the financing of this project, the fact that Sida contributes 50% and the production companies and the buying companies contribute 50% in kind, excludes the fact that the production companies are actually investing in short-term and long-term plans. They're buying equipment, they're installing meters, etc. And this is not part of the project balance. This is out of our balance sheet. This is investment in sustainable development that is being done by the suppliers. Now, after the coffee break, we'll hear all about these developments from the suppliers themselves. and we will be reconvening here at 11. Now that